Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, the TV show, and also to Authentic Black Goddess. All right, so I'm sorry for being late, people. Now, can you all see me clearly? Because it looks like this lighting is acting crazy. Okay. Can everybody see me clearly? It looks a little dim for some reason. Hold on for a second. Let me fix this light because something's... Okay. That might be a little better. I don't know what's going on with this light. Hold on. All right. Okay. I hope that's better. All right. Hey, Mark. Okay. You look a little bright. Okay, Andrea. You look great, says Broken Silence. All right. Thank you all. Okay, so listen. So I apologize for being tardy, people. Clearly, I was doing too much again. Okay? So, also, my guest is running a little late, and so that's why, I was just doing something else. I was actually setting up another interview. Okay? I was setting up... Hey, Blackfoot, Karma Cult, Cupcakes, Crystal Gales, Queen Ahmadiyyah, Howard, Nathalie, MM. So I was setting up another interview, people. I do apologize. I was talking to someone right before I was supposed to get started. Yes, fight for black, wearing royal blue. You're always worth the wait, Queen, says Rain Love. Thank you, beloved. Thank you, Natalie, for your kind words. Okay, so listen, people. So while I'm waiting for Darcella to get here, let's just go over something real quick. And by the way, let me tell you all. So I have a couple of more lives that I'm going to be doing. Okay. After this interview, I'm going to do like 2 more lives. Now, one of them is about Sasha Johnson, the black activist from UK that was shot in the head days ago, right? Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. They've captured 5 suspects. And then also going to be talking about Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown just went in on Dr. Boyce Watkins hours ago. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. All right, so make sure you all stay tuned in so you don't miss it. Now listen to this. You all remember Central Park Karen? Central Park Karen, the one who lied on that black man and said that he was trying to assault her and her dog. Well, now she's suing her employer. Listen to this. Woman who called police on a black bird watcher in New York City Central Park is suing her former employer, claiming it unfairly targeted her over the incident, according to a report by Bloomberg. So she was targeted unfairly? Okay. Now, the woman, Amy Cooper, in legal filings to the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York on Tuesday, said that her former company, Franklin Templeton, didn't conduct an investigation before firing her, though it said that they did. First of all, there was no investigation needed. We all saw what she did. She clearly lied, made up a story, and was acting like a racist piece of shite, Karen, as she is. So there's nothing to investigate. We saw it all. She also alleges that Franklin Templeton didn't try to obtain any of the 911 calls from the incident that would have shown that she called the police out of fear for herself. No, she called the police because she was lying. Now, is she stupid or what? She really thinks that she sounded like she was fear for her life after we sat there and saw that what she said on the 911 call and what she was doing didn't add up. She said the man was attacking and assaulting her, and clearly he was not. Okay, now the company told The Hill in an email Wednesday that it responded appropriately to the allegations against Cooper. They said, we believe the circumstances of the situation speak for themselves, as surely they do, and that the company responded appropriately. Now, we will defend against these baseless claims, and they are baseless, and they will win. They're going to laugh her silly racist self right out of the courtroom. Just watch. Now, a viral video of the May 2020 incident showed Cooper having a confrontation with Christian Cooper, who is black. The two are not related. Now, Cooper did not have her dog on a leash when they encountered each other, and Christian Cooper asked that Amy Cooper put the dog on a leash in a public park, as was required by Central Park's rules. Amy was then seen on the video calling the police. Confrontation happened at the height of a resurgence in efforts to bring about racial justice in the United States. The Hill reached out to Franklin Templeton for comments. She's a mess, honey. These people really be trying it. These Karens, they do not give up. That's what they don't do at the end of the day, honey. She was full of... Miss Fitz said she was full of male splaining. Lee Hart said she got male nerves shaking my damn head. She needs to go back to Canada. Try to get the USA money. Yes. Isn't she a mess? Who does that? She started the whole thing herself. Now she wants to sit there and play the victim. See, I told you all, right? The mental illness card is what these racist devils play. Or when all else fails, just act like you're the victim. Oh, okay, absolutely true, Justice. Absolutely. She was attacking her own dog, chokehold. Yes, she was, Ren. I mean, I felt sorry for the poor dog. Okay? Thank you, Ayon, for posting that. Yes, you all make sure that you like and share the video, that you subscribe to both the channels if you have not done so already. Make sure that you also subscribe to my other channels, okay? Now, I know I said I was going to go live on the spiritual channel today, More Than Meets the Third Eye, but I absolutely got tied up, people. I had a hard day's work, okay? Trust me. So anyway, with that all being said, make sure you subscribe to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents Beyond the Realm. Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents More Than Meets the Third Eye. Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents The Root of All Evil. And Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents True Crimes, okay? The dog should have been... Oh, she thought she was part of the SVU. Okay, this is clearly crazy, but you know what? This is what these people do. They feel entitled. That's what they do. They feel entitled to do these things. That company was glad to get rid of her crazy self. I bet they were. I bet they absolutely were. Brother Sly said it's hard out here for a queen. Okay? And a hotep queen is that, Brother Sly. No less. Oh. I see I have my mods in the house. Special Victims Unit. Fight for Black, not the Special Victims Unit. You all are too funny. Princess, you look pretty this evening. Your skin is absolutely glowing. Thank you, CH464. Okay. I appreciate all the kind words. See, Dervis is in the house. No, I like those fire emojis. They just can't stand on the sheet when they get caught. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. But you know what? It amazes me how they love to try to act like Black people are the issue. Right? Try to act like we're the problem. Clearly, they do the most. We all here for you, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. Okay, so listen, people. Like I said, Darcella's running a little bit late. Cold case, dead looking Karen. Y'all are a mess. Hold on. I'm Black Beautiful Queen. Thank you for tuning in, beloved Black and Silver. She should be charged for the abuse of her dog. Yeah, I actually thought they were going to charge her for that, especially since it was all caught on film. And then she was lying to boot. They are the kings and queens of deflection. Absolutely. And gaslighting. I absolutely believe it. Ren says melanin popping. Thank you. So anyway, people, do one on Serena and the bleach. Oh, honey, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Sir Excellence. Let me write that down. Because I was so hurt. Literally hurt to see that. Now, I heard people talking about it. And I said, now, this can't be true. Tell me she didn't do it. Oh, that was just ghastly. She looks a whole hot mess. I hope she knows it. She looks a whole hot mess. So listen. I hope you all went out and started buying your water and your non-perishable items. It's getting crucial out here. It's getting real crazy. And then, did y'all see the video that I posted with the little 10-year-old Palestinian boy getting arrested and the sisters was crying? That was real crazy. Hold on. Hold on, people. I'm trying to find this receipt real quick. And by the way, Dr. Shiva has some very interesting news today. He said that he's filed a lawsuit against Twitter and the government. And so he spoke about how, you know, these social media sites that are censoring people, he said that the government was behind some of it. That's what he said. He said, in his case at least, that the government told Twitter to ban him or to censor him. So he's now filed a lawsuit. I thought that was real crazy, but of course I wasn't surprised at anything these people do. The ending time are here. The Most High is coming for his people. I hope so. Queen, it's getting real out here. Zombie apocalypse 2021. Ooh, don't say that. Speaking of zombie apocalypse, I hope you all have your ammunition. I hope you all got all your ammunition, honey, because it's getting real. These devils are not letting up. And I'm going to tell you right now, things are going to get progressively worse, especially now that we're facing famine and a food shortage. Now, I told you all months ago, but at the end of the day, now you see that it's really coming to fruition. All this nefariousness is all coming to light. So that's all crazy. We have to be prepared for that, because the last thing we want to be doing is getting caught lacking. Okay? As y'all say out there in those streets. You don't want to get caught lacking, black people. FBA goddess said hollow points over here. Not hollow points. Terry says spiritual warfare. Absolutely. Silent D says, I'm about to get some more blamos with the money coming in from getting another car. I got a budget out. Okay? The Most High is coming to exterminate the Neanderthal. God has been watching, and he is headed no. Oh. Moonface says food prices have risen. Have they? I hadn't even noticed. Have they really? It's that jab to really be turning those people into zombies. Well, El Nacho. My uncle was high on, hold on. My uncle was high on drugs. This chat's going so fast. Hold on. I was high on drugs banging on my door last night. I'm going to have to take him out first. Dervis, please quit playing. Beef is high here in Ohio. Well, I don't buy beef. But you know what? I do. I go to organic farmers to get my food. So the prices are pretty much the same. Queen, here in Arkansas, they have an area where whites have come together and have their own community. It's so weird out in that area. Gardens, water supplies, everything. Let me tell y'all something. That's what black people need to be doing. I don't know what y'all waiting on. That's what black people need to be doing. Okay. Now I have been talking to some people about that. And that's exactly what black people need to be doing. I'm telling you all, it's about to get real ugly. You're going to need to be around like-minded people, and people have the same interest in mind. You understand what I'm saying? That's called being on code. And I told you, the Helmets crew, one thing about them we can't deny is they stay on code. They stay on code. Our people have a hard time doing that. Y'all remember that meat can be pressure canned. Last 3 years. Honey, I don't want no meat that's in a can for 3 years. I don't eat meat, period. But in a can? No. I mean, I know you do what you got to do, but I'm just saying. Y'all might better get a whole bunch of that. Okay? But I digress. Can someone enlighten me how the text service works from the UK, please? That's a good question, Bubba. I guess you would just text it like a regular number. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I have to look into that. Y'all, we need to link up. Great minds think alike, and all we can sure make a change. Absolutely. I'm growing some heirloom tomatoes indoors. Now that's smart, Hiram, because you know they're talking about making the law to where you can't to where you can't grow food and stuff, and to where the farmers can't even grow it. They're talking about making that mandatory, that you cannot do these things, that you have to stop. So that's a good thing. I've started a greenhouse. My brother also has organic seeds and plenty of fruit. It's that time. It absolutely is. I seen this video of the Proud Boys hugging each other. Hold on. The Proud Boys hugging each other. And I seen this black woman thinking she one of them, hugging them and shite. A lot of them didn't want her touching them. You know what? That's what she gets. Some of these are stupid. Oh my goodness. I cannot with the QueenAShakur. I absolutely cannot. That's what I can't do. I absolutely cannot. Why do black people try too much to be involved with that white folk doing, even if it's racist? You know why, Don? Because many of black people are Sambos, plantation, pappies, and mammies, QueenAShakur, and all of the above. That's what it is. Miriam says, thank you, Queen, for seeds. You're welcome, beloved. Save your seeds from the food you eat. Yeah, when you can find some seeds, because let me tell you something. I haven't seen a grape with seeds in it in about 10 years. And I'm so serious. I mean, I can't even find them at the organic places I go to. I don't know what's going on with that. But I'm not eating any until I see some with seeds. Just spend the extra and get the FD meats in number 10 can. Oh, okay. Judah Queen says we save seeds. Sal D says I only see seedless everything. Queen, I almost had to bring that smoke to a glacier donkey today, says Pearly. Oh no, Pearly, don't do it at work, honey. Just ignore these devils. They try to bring your energy down, honey. They try to bring your energy down. That's what they try to do. Okay, so listen, my guest is here, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready to bring her on. So let me introduce her. Her name is Darcella Means, okay? Now, she's from Louisville, Kentucky. You know about the nefarious police officers down there in Louisville, Kentucky, right? The ones that killed Breonna Taylor, you know, and they're under investigation currently. But now, Darcella had an incident that occurred with the Louisville Metropolitan Department of Corrections, okay? And when they tried to humiliate, actually they did humiliate her. It was very shameful what they did. And sadly, these were black officers who did it. And we need to bring attention to them as well, because we have a lot of these black officers who go out here and act like coons and buffoons and Sambos on tiptoes and plantation mammies and pappies. And you know I'm here to expose all of the nefariousness. So I'm going to add her to the stream, and I want to give my disclaimer. I cannot verify or deny any of the allegations brought forth. All right, because I'm just here to listen, to get the information, and to bring it out to you. With that all being said, please welcome my guest. Everyone, let's get those fire emojis in the chat, okay? And let's thank Kendrick Wilson, whom I've interviewed several times, for bringing Darcella to my attention, her story to my attention. All right, thank you. Hello, Darcella. How you doing, beloved?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing fine. Let me remove my logo from the stream.
Okay.
All right, there you go. So they can see your lovely face. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. And I already told everybody we were both running late. So
okay.
Now, what I want to know is, first off, hold on, let me put the chat back up. All right, love those fire emojis. Okay. Now, so first thing I want to ask Darcella is, when this incident happened, when was this actually that it happened, first of all?
It was September 2nd, 2020. So it was last year. And you want me to tell what happened?
Well, I want to know now, you were at the Louisville Metropolitan Department of Corrections, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, just go through, tell me, like, first off, what happened? Why, first of all, why were you there? And then
Okay. So I was in drug court, and I had got sanctioned, and I had to do a program called Enough is Enough. And it was a 90-day program. So the officer that's with drug court, he's like just the main officer with drug court. He came and picked me up and took me to the jail to do the program. Once I completed the program, I was to be released.
Okay, so it was like a diversion program, basically.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I was on diversion.
Okay. Okay.
So when I got to the jail, after I got to the jail, they walked me in the front door. They took me through the x-ray machine, and then it was a door on your left. And okay, so I've never been in the jail before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a door on your left, and the door, they walked me in the door, and it was like real dark in there. It was probably like almost like a black light, but it was green.
Okay.
So once we went inside the room, I could, just see like shadows of them. That's how dark it was. So one of the lady officers told me to strip out of my clothes. So I started stripping out of my clothes. And when I bent over to take my leg out of my pants, one of the officers, which I know now is LaShonda or Lachey Bearden, Officer Bearden, she said to me, she was like, "You think you cute?" But she said it in a real nasty way. And I was like, excuse me. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So then she was like, don't worry about it. She was like, we about to embarrass your ass. So when that happened,
Now,
I got real nervous.
hold on, let me ask you this real quick. So when they told you to strip, now is that common protocol for them to do that in the first place?
Some people said no, but I really don't know. Like I said, I've never been in the jail, so I don't know.
I did a little research, and I heard that was not even protocol for them to make you even strip in the first place. So I thought that was strange that they even told you to do that. Okay.
Right. Well, so I've never been in there, so I didn't know. But from that point, I was doing what I was told. I walked after they told me, don't worry about it, we about to embarrass your ass. One officer grabbed me by my arm and pulled it straight out, and to where it was like just dangling. I didn't fight back or anything. And then the other officer grabbed me by my other arm. She then opened the door and walked me straight out the room. And once you walk out the room and go towards your left, it's the booking area. And they walked me straight towards the booking area, completely naked. The only thing that I had on was my ankle socks. And
out there as well.
Yes, it was early in the morning, and I think officers was coming to work. So it was probably about 7 male officers. And when I looked to my right, it was some blue chairs, and it was it was like 5 guys sitting there in the blue chairs. They were inmates.
Okay.
I guess they were waiting to be processed as well.
So all out here, male officers coming in for work, and then male inmates even sitting out there saw you as they're parading you through the facility. Right. And so probably weren't even supposed to have you strip in the first place, but you didn't know any better, and you were doing as you were told. You weren't resisting or anything. So, but they purposely, they'd already told you, we're going to embarrass your ass.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. I'll tell you what I think.
That was their intentions. So the male inmates that were sitting there start yelling, like, they were like, hell yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was really, really embarrassed. Once they walked me like towards the end, it was like a long table where they take your picture, and it was a cell on the same side, on the left side. They put me in that left cell, and once they opened the door, they kind of pushed me in there. I was not handcuffed. They didn't have to mace me or anything like that, call for backup or nothing like that. They just pushed me in there. And I was in that room probably about 20 minutes. And then I heard the women officers, I heard them laughing. And then it was, they were laughing. It was a male voice I heard. And I believe he was the lieutenant or sergeant. And he was like, where's her clothes? So they got my clothes and they brought them to the door, and they allowed me to get dressed. Once I got dressed, they brought me out in booking again, and they told me to sit in the chairs, and I took my picture and I went upstairs to fresh arrest. That's what they call fresh arrest. So after that, I had filed a grievance, and it was during protesting time. So a month had went by and I hadn't got the grievance back.
Mm-hmm.
So I filed another grievance, and I wrote in the second grievance, I already filed one and y'all didn't return it. Well, this time I'm keeping a pink slip. That way I'll have proof that I did send it. Yes.
Exactly.
Right. So as the months, as like, it was like probably maybe 2.5 months went by. No, let me back up. So before that, 17 days later, Officer Rudolph, she came to the program dorm. It was around lunchtime. They were bringing trays in, and she called my name. She said, Means. And my heart was pounding because I was like, I don't know what she's going to do or say. And when I went to the door, she wouldn't look at me. She kind of like looked down, and she was talking. She was like, I was just coming to the dorm to tell you that I apologize. It shouldn't have never went down like that. She was like, I don't work in booking. She said, this is my floor that I work on. She was like, and I was only doing what the other officer told me to do. She was like, because, right. She said, because she was over me. She said, but even if she don't want to apologize to you, I am. And she was like, I hope you have a good day. And I kind of looked at her like, are you serious?
First of all, that was all BS. She probably thought she was going to get into trouble. Second of all, if she was so sorry for it and she was just doing what she was told, why the hell was she laughing when they took you through there? And why did she think it was funny? Another thing is, now let me just make sure we clarify this for the listening audience. Okay, so when you were there at this time, you were not under arrest. You were going in for the diversion program. Am I correct?
Well, no, I had got arrested by the officer and walked through to do the diversion. I mean, not the diversion, the program. I had to go in to do the program, but it was our drug court officer. It wasn't just any officer. It was the officer for drug court. Okay. And he came and got me and took me to the jail. And they told, because I was on the sanction. So they told me I had to do the program in order to get released. I had to complete it.
Okay. I was wondering because I saw someone put in the chats that when you go to jail, you have to do a strip search. And I know that you have to do a strip search when you go to jail. That's part of it. But I was thinking because you were doing the diversion that you weren't going to jail at that time, that you had already probably been to jail. Because sometimes they give you diversion like when you go to court. You know, they'll
I was on diversion. And that's why I had a sanction and I had to go in to do the program, the 90-day program. But I ended up being in there more than 90 days. They kept me in there more than 90 days. I was in there.
Why'd they do that? Why'd they keep you in there for so long?
I don't know. I didn't get my certificate until January 12th. And I was supposed to get out. I was supposed to be done December, but I didn't get out till January 12th.
Wow, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
So now go on with the story, because now here's the thing. So let's fast forward. So you sent them the paperwork, filing a grievance twice. Mm-hmm. And then did you do something back the second time saying that someone had received it?
The second time, and in the second grievance that I filed, I let them know that I did keep the pink slip as evidence that I did file. But they sent back an answer. They said, you have to file an incident. You have to file a grievance within 5 days of the incident. And I was like, okay. So I wrote another one and I explained to them, this happened September 2nd. Y'all told me that there was no grievance counselors in the building because of the protesting. So the first one I never got back. And now you're telling me a situation like this, I have to file it within 5 days.
How would 5 days when you're in jail and they just told you there's no grievance counselors? So that's impossible.
Right. So I was like, okay. So I asked to speak to somebody higher over the grievance counselors. And the guy, I'm not gonna mention his name, but the guy that was in charge of the program, he basically reached out to somebody to get me a form to fill out to speak to Internal Affairs. And my sister called Internal Affairs as well.
Okay.
A lieutenant came and talked to me. And after that, Lieutenant Miller came and talked to me. And he told me, he said, well, there's an investigation going on. He was like, they haven't told me anything yet, but I'll check. Matter of fact, I'll check today and I'll come back and let you know something tomorrow. I promise. Mm-hmm. So he did. He came back and told me. The next day, he said the officers were reprimanded. They were punished for what they did. And I said, okay, so how do you punish officers? We're talking about officers here. How do you punish officers for doing something to an inmate and you never even talked to the inmate? Nobody in the jail had came and talked to me. Nobody came and got my side. So you just telling me that you punished them and didn't even hear my side of the story or anything? So I said, don't worry about it. And this was in December now. Mm-hmm. This was like a month, like almost the end of December. And I had like maybe a month, if not even a month before I got out, like 2 weeks. So I was like, don't worry about it. I was like, when I get out, I'm just going to file charges. So the next day, an officer came to the cell and he called my name. The lieutenant was with them. They handcuffed and shackled me. And I was like, where am I going? And he was like, ma'am, just come on. And he was like, I can't, tell you. So when I got out the door, it was like out of the dorm. When I got out, I said, well, why you can't tell me where I'm going? Because I was scared. I didn't know where they were taking. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, I couldn't say nothing in front of the other inmates because of security reasons. And, I don't know why you're going over here. And I was like, where am I going? And he said, well, you're going to talk to the Internal Affairs. So they took me over to the courthouse, which is right beside the jail. Mm-hmm. And when I got inside this like interrogation room, it was a guy sitting there, and he looked like a correctional officer. Mm-hmm. And he had his face covered, and he was sitting down. And I sat down in the chair on the other side, and he was like, okay, so tell me what happened. So I told him what happened, and he was quiet. Then when I got done, he was like, well, how do we know that you didn't try to fight with them or whatever? And I cut him off and I said, with all due respect, sir, I said, you can say whatever you want. They can say whatever they want. Just watch the tape, which I'm sure you already have. Mm-hmm. I said, but if I was fighting with them or if I was, resisting or anything like that, I would have been handcuffed. They would have called for backup. It's 2 of them and 1 of me. I was like, they would have threw me down. I was like, I don't really know a lot about the jail, but I know you can get, there's write-ups. There's write-ups that they can write you up for stuff that you do.
Exactly.
I didn't receive any write-ups. I was not handcuffed. I was not maced. I was not restrained. There was no restraints put on me at all. Mm-hmm. And he just sat there and stared at me, and he was like, are you done? And I was like, yes. He said, take her back over to the jail. And that was the end of that.
So that pretty much was suggesting that they're not going to do anything. And in fact, they're trying to cover up for him and take up for him by trying to blame it on you. Like, oh, how do we know you didn't do this, that, and the third? Right. But on video. And if you had done anything like you said, there would have been some measures taken. There would have been calling for help or, whatever. You'd have been handcuffed and all of this stuff. So even when you said they put you in the room and shut the door, you didn't even have handcuffs on then.
No.
So, yes.
They never put handcuffs on me at all the whole time I was there.
Now, let me say this to the viewing audience. The reason I thought this story was important to talk about, people, is because, first of all, we have not heard this story. We have not seen it in the mainstream media, not even on the news in Louisville, Kentucky. And another reason is because this, for all of you who, you've heard me talk about breaking Tyreek's documentary, this is a form of buck breaking, people. This is absolutely what this is. Now, because they can do it to a female as well. Anytime and also another thing that I talked to you all about numerous of times, I've told you how back during slavery, they used to parade the black women around naked, trying to over sexualize Black women, trying to make Black women seem as though they're provocative, promiscuous, and all of those things. And I told you they still do those things to this day. So with that all being said, that's why this story is important to get out. And the sad thing is, it was 2 Black female officers. So just to let you know that many of our own people engage in acts of wannabe white supremacist things to their own people. So, coons and sambos, right? And coonish hens, plantation mammies and pappies, like I tell you all the time. And I feel that these 2 women did this because they were jealous. Now, I think I saw them because I went on their Facebook pages. I looked them up on Facebook. Now, I'm going to go to the Facebook page. Hold on. I'm going to go to their, well, you know what? I'm not even going to get into all that. I was going to go to their Facebook. After you told me their names earlier, and say their names, please, because I want them to be put on blast.
It's Keshonda Rudolph and Lachey Bearden.
Lachey Bearden. Yes. Now, I looked up their Facebook pages. Now, I did see one of them. She looked like she was singing, the one last name Bearden. Like she was somewhere where she was performing for children, like singing or whatever. And that person said Officer Lachey Bearden. And it's this say Louisville, Kentucky. And then the other one, Rudolph, but it had her last name is Eccles. It had Rudolph Eccles or something like that. So I wasn't for sure if that was the same one. It had people on her page whose last names were Rudolph. And then it had her last name is Eccles, but it had Rudolph on there also. So I wasn't for sure if that was her. But yeah, they were likely jealous. Okay. That's why I think they would do something like that. Because first of all, what made her say to you, oh, you think you cute? When you were doing nothing but doing what you were told.
Right. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, why they're protesting outside for Black Lives Matter. They're going through all this stuff. But the 2 women that did what they did to me were Black. And that hurt me the most, because I'm like, we should stick up for one another. I mean, whether we're in jail or not, if you see somebody doing something like that, you're supposed to speak out and say something. But it makes yourself look bad when you're the one that's doing it.
Exactly. But you know, a lot of these police officers, they may be Black, but they act just the same as their white counterparts when they're police officers, because in their minds, they're blue before they're Black. That's not all of them, but some. And that's the sad thing about it. Now what I want you to tell me about is the attorney that you hired and what was going on with that.
Okay, so I had went down to the jail 3 days. I went down to the jail to get the video. The 3rd time I went down, a lady had gave me a number to reach out to, I guess, the head guy, the director, or whoever handles the videos. He wouldn't answer, so I left a message. He did call me back. And when I talked to him, he told me that I had to file something online for release of the video, but he said there's no guarantee you'll get it. And I said, excuse me, sir. I was like, what do you mean there's no guarantee I'll get it? I was like, well, why would I file for it then? So he said, I'm just letting you know. So then I walked outside. I left. I walked outside, and it was like some people over by the Jefferson Square where they did the Breonna Taylor, I guess, visual at.
Right.
Right. So it was a girl over there, and it was Black and white. And I walked up to her and I asked her, who are they and what do they do? And she said, well, I'm a photographer. And she was like, we're here for Breeway. So I kind of briefly went over my story with her, and she gave me David Mauer's name and said, look him up on Facebook and just briefly, tell him what's going on, and he'll message you back. And he did. He sent me his cell phone number, and he told me to call him the next day. So I called him the next day, and within 5 minutes of our conversation, he had already emailed me a paper saying that he'll represent me, how much it'll cost. And it just basically said that he was going after LMDC, Officer Bearden, and Officer Rudolph. Okay. And that he was going to charge 40%.
Okay.
So after that, it was probably like a week went by, And I messaged him and I asked him, hey, have you heard anything yet? And he was like, well, no, I haven't heard anything. He said, you just got to give it a little time due to COVID. And he was like, they have 10 days to answer. So 2.5 weeks went by and I messaged him. And then he was like, well, I'm going to follow up on it. But the whole time that I was texting him, I was asking him, do you have the video? Have you got the video? Have they released the video? Why are they taking so long to release the video when they were showing everybody in the jail? So it was on a Friday. He texted me and said, I got the stuff. He said, let me review it and I will call you Monday. So Monday came. I waited till almost 4:00 and I texted him and I said, hey, David, I was just calling. I'm texting you to see if you were going to get a hold of me today. No, he didn't respond. So Tuesday, I texted him and I said, can I get a copy of the video? And that was it. He texted me back and said, LOL, period. They wouldn't give me that. So I looked at the text for a second.
Oh, why would you say LOL? There's nothing funny about that.
Right. He was right. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, while I was looking at the text, like I couldn't believe, like he's an attorney and he texts LOL. And I was like, what is funny about that?
Right.
So I got frustrated and I was just like,
especially cut you off, but especially seeing as how the video was the main points of your case, because that's the evidence. That's right. The main part of the evidence. But go ahead.
So I texted him and I said, what do you mean they wouldn't give you that? And his response to me saying, what do you mean they wouldn't give you that? I was like, I don't know anything. He texted me back and said, it really doesn't matter. He said, let's make a settlement demand of $75,000. And I said, can you just call me? I was like, just call me. So he called me. And when he called me, it went from, within 5 minutes, it went from 75,000 to 99,000. And I feel like he said that because I didn't bite when he said 75,000. So when I talked to him on the phone, he took it up to 99,000. But then a week later, I was looking through all the texts and just reading them. And I was like, something's not right with him. I was like, he didn't ask me what I wanted. He just basically came up with that number himself. He never once asked me, well, what would you like to happen? What do you want?
Right.
But at the beginning, like I said, I asked him to get the tape. That was the reason why I heard. So he sent me an email because I texted him after I was reading all the text, and I was like, okay, so he said he got the stuff. What stuff did he get? So I texted him, I said, hey, David, I was like, I was just wondering, if you didn't get the tape, what stuff did you get? So he texted me back and said, the report. So I said, can you send that to me? So he emailed me his email address and his password and said, sign on and you can get it. But when I signed on, it had reports of Officer Rudolph and Officer Bearden. I downloaded them to my phone because I didn't want him to lock me out of there to where I couldn't get back in. So I took it upon myself to download to keep it for me. So as I was looking at the reports, it just stated in the report on both officers' report was exactly word for word the same. So I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, I understand they're officers and, but when I say word for word, everything was exactly the same. Like one person typed it up and just put their names on it.
Okay, yeah, that's what it sounds like. Because even if the same story happened and you're going to tell the same story, you're not going to the language and wording verbatim.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the report, and on the report, it states public. It says public so he got that off. He got it offline, like public records. He didn't file for it. It came off public records. So when I read the report stated that the officers, both officers, admitted that they walked me out of the strip search room through booking unclothed. They stated in the report that I was being disruptive and uncooperative. But when I read the report and it said that, I'm like, okay. So they said I was being disruptive and uncooperative, but there was never any write-ups. Now, anytime that you're being disruptive and uncooperative, where's the write-ups?
Exactly.
Why didn't nobody? Why was I not restrained? Why was there no supervisor contacted? Why was there nobody over there to help you? Or, I mean, I wasn't handcuffed or nothing. That makes no sense. No write-ups, no restraints, anything, nothing.
Right. Because if that had been true, then likely you would have gotten some type of discipline while you were there. That's what I would think.
Right. There would have been some kind of disciplinary action.
Right.
And there wasn't. So when I read the bottom of the report, their supervisor, their boss, stated that he reviewed the reports and he reviewed the video. And he basically said that they should have allowed, Rudolph and Bearden should have allowed inmate Means to either get dressed and or cover her up before walking her out of the strip search room through booking. And he said that basically they need to be more clear on their reports, basically stating that the report and the video that he watched didn't match up. I was not fighting. I was not resisting. I willingly walked out with them. They had my arms pulled out from underneath me and they walked me out.
Right. You didn't
Right.
Now what they were trying to do was trying to justify what they did. At the end of the day, even if you had resisted, been uncooperative, that doesn't give them the right to parade you through their nude. They would likely, what they should have done, if that had been the case, is gone and gotten help or told someone or whatever, put you in handcuffs, restraints, or whatever. That's not how you handle that. What they were trying to do is justify their own BS. That's what that was.
Right. So they did get suspended for 3 days, which unacceptable. But when I talked to so back to David Maurer, when I talked to David Maurer, I decided that after he said went from 99,000 to 90,000, Kendrick, I talked to Kendrick. He did a live and he was just speaking on me about, just what happened. And I didn't know he was talking about me. So when I went on there and looked, I was like, he's talking about me. So I reached out to him. Well, I ended up doing an interview with him. And basically, he was able to help me a lot. So I basically did a call, an interview. I mean, not an interview call, call. I got on a phone call, conference call, and I recorded it just for me, for my safety. So when I talked to David Maurer, he basically was just like, hello. He was like, how are you doing? And I was like, I was like, I'm okay. Like, he act like he was concerned. Well, I don't really want to go into details about it, but I'll just say that he basically was like, well, if you want the video, he was like, I can get the video for you. He was like, we have to file something under the acts or something. He basically, to get the video, he had to file something. He said, I haven't filed anything yet. And I said, well, he was kind of mad because you can hear it in his voice. He was mad because I did the interview with Kendrick and he mentioned Kendrick's name during the call with me. And I was like, what is I just brushed it off. I was like, well, anyways, like I was saying about the video, I hired you to get the video. The main reason I hired you is to get the video, and
Right.
you have not got it. And then you text me and told me that you were basically waiting on them to respond. And when you did get a response from them, you told me you got the stuff. And the stuff to me is the video, because that's all I asked you for was the video. So when I found out that it wasn't the video wasn't the stuff, it was just a report. Yes, I was upset about it. But I like I told him, I was like, you went from 75,000 to 99,000 to 90,000. And I was like, I never made any offer. He never asked me any number. He made those numbers up. But when I stated that to him, he was focused on Kendrick. He was like, well, Kendrick has a warrant for contempt. And I was like, okay, well, right. I wasn't understanding what did Kendrick have to do with me? That has nothing to do. I hired you. I signed the paper for you to represent me to get the video, and you failed to do that. So that day I did fire him. I did fire David Maurer due to the fact that he did not file for the video that I asked for. And he claimed in the text messages that that's what he was waiting on, because every time I text him, it was about the video. Right. Every time I text him, I asked him, hey, did you get the video? He was leading me on to make me believe that he was waiting, that he did file for it. But in the phone call, he said, well, I haven't filed anything yet. So when I fired him, the same day I fired him, he filed a lien on any settlement that I get. He is to get 40%.
Now, why would he even think that he's supposed to get 40%? He
wanted 40% of whatever settlement I get. And he stated clear as day that he never filed anything. So I was like, okay, so what is it that he wants? Do he want me to pay him for going online and getting in public records to get my information? How much does that cost? Because anybody can go on public records.
Exactly.
So I haven't heard anything else from him after that. But it's been real hard on me. I'm not gonna lie, it's been hard on me.
Sure it has, because haven't you been like I know traumatized, because that's very traumatizing, that's humiliating, it's embarrassing and all of that. Like, have you sought any type of counseling for what you went
through? Yes, I'm set up to see a therapist. So I'll be seeing a therapist. Every time I get in my car and drive, it's like I get nervous. If I see the police, they don't have to be behind me. They could be beside me on the other side of the street. It's hard, because I'm like, it's like I'll be having a panic attack or anxiety. Like it just like raises to the roof because of what happened to me. I wasn't like this before. And honestly, I keep looking around, but I'm nervous. So I apologize, but I'm just nervous just because every time I tell it, I get upset, because I know it's a lot of people that's watching. And anybody that got walked through a jail completely naked and everybody was looking at you, that is embarrassing. The fact that they hid this for it's been 9 months now. David Maurer, he does all kinds of, he's on social media all the time. He's on the news all the time. He was just talking about the guy that got punched in the face by the police, but he was down there protesting. He was basically like egging them on. So David Maurer was right there. He was standing right there when the guy was getting punched in the face. He didn't stop that. He didn't do anything about it. He didn't say anything. He didn't speak up right then and there when that happened. But he was there. He was on the news talking about it.
But isn't he supposed to be an activist of some sort?
Right. He claims he's with Black Lives Matter, Breeway. But I'm not understanding. I hired him March 24th. I fired him I think it was April 13th. And he never said anything about my story. He never got in front of social media. He never told them anything about what happened to me. And he basically said on the phone during the call, at the beginning of the call, he said, he said, I really don't even care about the video. He said, I was just trying to get you a settlement. So he didn't even care about getting the video, but he basically led me on to make me believe that that's what he was trying to get, because that's all I wanted was the video at the time.
Real crazy. So basically now you've hired another attorney, right?
Yes.
And so now, who is this other attorney that you hired?
He is the son of Huey P. Newton, the co-founder of the Black Panthers. Rico Dukes is his name.
Okay.
And I hired him. So he was on it day one, and he has been doing a great job, and I really appreciate it. And that thanks to, again, Kendrick. I really appreciate him. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen from here. All I can say is I don't wish this on nobody. I hope that me telling my story, if this happened to anybody else or something similar, to, reach out and talk to somebody, because it does help. It's hard, but it helps. It's not, you're not going to be healed right off from it, but it does help.
Right. That's the best thing to do, is to talk about it and to get your story out there, so that anybody else goes through something like this, because it has to be traumatic, that they can, know what to do. Because at the end of the day, it seems to me like the police or the corrections department, it seems to me, I can't really say, I can only speculate, but it seems like perhaps they were trying to stonewall you. Because when you went and talked to that guy, he immediately took the defense and was trying to cover for the correction officers and said, well, how do we know you weren't doing this, that? And that's all speculation. He doesn't know. And if any of those things happened, there would have been something written in the reports about that.
Right. And again, like I said, I don't know much about jails, but I know that if you do something, if you fight back or anything, they're going to write you up. They're going to address you. Whoever, if it's a lieutenant, sergeant, whatever, they're going to come to you with that write-up, read it to you, let you know, well, if they found you guilty or not guilty of it. Right. And then sometimes they'll you get 30 days loss of privileges. If it wasn't COVID, they'll take away the gym or church or something like that in the jail from you. But it was nothing. I never signed anything in that jail besides the grievances that I sent out to them.
Yeah, so that's real crazy. So now this is another thing I wanted to ask you. Now, this attorney that you initially had, David Maurer, do you think that he tried to get the tapes? I know it's only speculation because we don't really know, but do you think that he tried to get the tapes and they just didn't give it to him? Or do you think that he didn't even bother to try to get them?
He did not. He said himself. I'm not saying this because that's how I feel. He came out of his own mouth. David Maurer came out of his own mouth and stated, I have not filed anything. He said, I have not filed anything. Now, if you want me to get the tape, I will get the tape for you. You just have to let me do my thing. That's his exact words. You just have to let me do my thing. I will get the tape for you. Now, is that what you want? And then that's when my attorney now came in and spoke up and said, why haven't you got it? She keep asking you. And in the text messages that I have on my phone still, that's all I was asking him about. I never said, well, how much money you gonna get for me? Or can you get me some money? I never said anything about money.
Right now,
it was all about a video. I asked him, hey, did you get the video? Hey, did you get the video? He came out and stated, when I said, what do you mean they didn't give you? When he texted me the last text and said, LOL, they didn't give me that. And I said, what do you mean they didn't give you that? I said, well, what did they say? He said, it really doesn't matter. I think we should make a settlement demand of $75,000 and see what they say.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, when you wanted the tape, requested the tape, what was your purpose for wanting the tape? Now, was it so that you could get some charges brought against the officers for what they did to you? Some type of punishment for them?
When I asked for the tape, I wanted the tape because I want justice. I
Right.
wanted.
That's what I wanted you to say, because
Mhm.
he wasn't interested in justice. He was interested, as many of these attorneys are, in money.
Right.
And that was my whole thing, because you went to him asking for the tape. That's
Right.
what you wanted justice. Because
Mhm.
some things you do to a person, money's not going to fix that. The money
Right.
will, that's not going to fix it. When somebody does something so depraved and heinous to you, something so humiliating, that it strips away your dignity and it embarrasses you publicly, it makes you feel belittled and all of that, and then you stay traumatized even after it's over with. Yeah,
Right.
money's not going to fix that. So I would
Hmm.
want them as well. So that's
Hmm.
why, and that's obviously what he didn't get the point of. You see, he was obviously thinking that maybe you just wanted the money. You understand what I'm saying? But no, it's not about the money all the time. It's about getting justice for the wrong that was perpetuated upon you. And you should sue them for money also. But the main thing was that you want those officers to pay for what they did, as they should. As they should. Well, I'm going to say this, beloved. I'm glad that you have a new attorney now and who's doing things the way you want them to be done. And now, has your attorney that you have now, has he had any success in getting the tape?
Right now, well, he did get an answer back, and they did state that they couldn't, that the video does exist, but they basically still refuse to give up the tape, stating because of security reasons.
Okay, so with that being said, you all would probably have to fight them in court for the darn tape, because that's
Right.
that goes. They don't want to give it up because they know they're in the wrong. See, when they know they didn't do anything wrong, they'll be quick to give up tapes. Most of these police departments and stuff. But so whenever they know that they're in the wrong, that's when they try to fight you for the tape. They don't want to give it up. But so
Right.
attorney now is fighting to try to get it for you, and hopefully, but you know what though, when and if you all go to court, that should be able to be brought in during the discovery period as for, evidence or whatever.
Right. Right.
That's also crazy. I'm really sorry that happened to you, and I appreciate you coming on here and telling your story. I also appreciate Kendrick for introducing me to you and sharing your story with me. With that all said, I hope you get over this. I hope that you were able to move on, and I know it's going to be tough. You continue to go to your counseling, and this is something that it's a good thing that you brought this out to people's attention, because a lot of people would have been too embarrassed to even speak on this publicly, to even
Right.
that even happened to them, So it's really good that you did that, because now other people who may go through something similar or go through the same thing, they can come out, and talk about their stories, and they know how to fight back. Know that they need to try to get justice. Don't just let these cops and corrections officers get things. And Louisville has a history of nefariousness going on within their correction facility and within their police department. And as I said, we already know that they're currently under investigation with the LMPD. So, and it's a lot of stuff that goes on there. And it's also a lot of coons there too, because I was raised there, honey. I went to school there and everything, graduated. And it's a bunch of coons there who work at the soul behest of wannabe would-be white supremacists. And they will quickly on their own black people for doing that. And that's what these two officers, they know they were wrong for doing that. And the saddest thing is that they're black. But here's the thing. A lot of these female officers are haters.
Right.
All colors, black, white, you name it, whatever, Hispanic, whoever. But a lot of them are haters, and they're jealous of other women. And so they'll purposely try to give other women a hard time. And like I said, this whole thing reminded me of how they did black women during slavery with the jealous Karens. When they would see the black women and be afraid their men, the slave owners, are going to be looking at them. They would purposely do things to humiliate and belittle them. And even when they would have our ancestors up on the auction blocks doing all those same things. So that's what it likened me to. And the sad thing is that we have black people doing the same thing that the devils do. So I appreciate you for coming on here. I want to thank you again. Let me read some of the comments. They say, they sure are, Queen. They even hate the men too. Yes, absolutely. Someone said, stay on their neck too, my sister. Sue the hell out of them. It's automatic win. Okay?
Thank you.
Somebody said, thank you for your courage, Darcella. Peace and blessings to you.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate your courage, sister. All right. So thank you all for the kind comments. Now, I want to tell all of the listening viewers, I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Please make sure you like and share this video. Share this video everywhere. Moderators, please share this video with at least 5 to 10 people, okay, on different platforms. And also make sure you subscribe to the channels, Authentic Black Goddess TV, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. And make sure that when you subscribe, you click the notification bell, click the word all, so that you receive your notifications anytime I go live. Also, if you want to get personal text and notification alerts from me, make sure you text Royals to 1-844-589-90 what is the number? Oh, 60. Okay, 844-589-6096. Okay. Now make sure y'all tune black in at 7:40, because I'm going to be talking about the activist over in the UK, Sasha Johnson, who was shot. They have 5 suspects in custody. I was going to start at 7, but we ran over, so I changed the time to 7:40. Everybody make sure you tune black in. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to go live and talk about Dr. Boyce Watkins. It's come under fire from the Mama's Cooking, honey. Kwame Brown is going in on him. So we're going to be talking about that. All right, so I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Thank you all for tuning in. And thank you, beloved. And I'll be talking, okay? I'll be keeping in touch with you. So,
okay, thank you.
How you're doing and everything like that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thanks a lot. All right, so everyone, I'm going to conclude the broadcast, and I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.